And he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored!
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries a flag! Shot for Derby!
A gain of 33 yards and first and 10, Sun Devils.
Gain of 33 yards for Scalable. First and 10, ball in Texas 22. With 6 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, our score Texas 24, Arizona State 16.
Everybody, welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys all know. Yes, back from Atlanta. It was just, you know, as they say, a business trip back and forth, and that is that. And man, I tell you what, what a game it was. You guys, I know a ton of you watched, A ton of you watched, you saw, you were exhilarated, you were worried, you were frustrated, you were happy. I mean, the array and gauntlet of emotions, um, which look, as we know, um, is very is um um I mean, it was a rocky start, and then it was it was like it truly was a heavyweight fight. But I think, like I said, all of last week, um, as we know that ASU definitely belonged, and we could see that. So yeah, it was a phenomenal game, guys. And look, I mean, we'll hear from a little bit from Cam Scattaboo. Um, well, Coach Dillingham, Sam Levitt, Cam Scattaboo. We'll hear a little bit from them. But yeah, we got a lot to get to. Yes, I know you. The calls, we're all a little flustered by the no calls, or the lack thereof in some instances. And yeah, there was one or two that may have went ASU's way too. Again, you know me, trying not to talk out of both sides of the mouth. I'm fair like that, but that's um 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 and yeah, it's crazy to me, because like, look, all the time off, and that always gets that gets put into it. Yeah, the time off and everything that people think that they, oh, it's good, it's bad. Yeah, you get to get healthy, but are you how are you clicking, your momentum offensively, defensively? How are you clicking, making plays? But we'll get to all that. I am Michael Kirchner, like I said, at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as, the Twitter. Yes, don't be bashful. You know that. See this live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, which is Michael.Kirchner.5. Yes, I know. I know you know that. And as I like to tell you every day, you go to the YouTube channel. For those of you watching, go to the YouTube channel and enjoy. You can, anything you've missed, sound, interviews especially, but interviews, sound, everything. You can go to YouTube, go to the channels, Michael Caracino, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. And man, I tell you, it was just you can do that. Also, now, guess what, guys? Guess what? And I know you know it. And the last week, again, it was a little bit of a speed bump because of holiday break. That was my bad. But you can now listen. You can now listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Those watching, you see it scrolling across the bottom. But look, all you have to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, and go from there. And the page will open up. Go down and click listen live, click play, and look at that Pitchfork Lunch, Sun Devil content, part of the awesome Casual Sports Radio Network. Again, Casual E reached out, so stoked we could be a part of the family there. And again, you want to talk about not just obviously Sun Devil coverage that's there, but also Suns, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Mercury. He has got you covered. Casual E has got you covered there. So that being said, again, it's one of those things where we got you covered. And again, it's the one thing I will say is Pitchfork Lunch live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. As you're driving around, again, run it through your Bluetooth. Like I said, all you got to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Boom. click listen live. You're driving around. Of course, I want you to watch, but like I always say, and I will always say this, please don't watch and drive. You're smarter than that. You're Sun Devils. So I know you know that, but we have to remind others that might not be, Sun Devils that are just, excited to watch. But no, nonetheless, all seriousness. But yeah, you can listen and then you get to lunch, boom, you can turn it on or just keep listening. And those watching, again, hit me up in the comments, man. What did you think about the game? That I want you to hit me up. But yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy to me how the game was. But again, go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, page will open up, go to listen live, hit play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch. We got you covered. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a phenomenal Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Those of you that saw, I documented, you saw I documented, obviously got there very, very early. You know me, didn't want to run late, especially that, but got there very, very early. And yeah, so just a quick side note, took the red eye flight out on, so basically spent New Year's in the air. It was pretty awesome. We had a little celebration there on the plane with a ton of Sun Devil fans, which is awesome to see. But yeah, a ton of Sun Devil fans, and that in and of itself was awesome. But yeah, took the red eye flight, left here technically 11:59, so it was right after New Year's that we left. Got in the air and then got into Atlanta at 5:30 yesterday morning. Obviously, the games that was 1:00 local time, but again, had a little bit of breakfast and then headed great transportation. I mean, literally got to leave the airport, hop a little tram or train, I should say, and then yeah, so waited a little bit, but then yeah, dropped my bag off at the hotel and then went right across the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yes, it was chilly. I loved the weather, except guys, you know me, you know this, the wind. Yeah, it got windy at times and it was chilly and and it was chilly, but yeah, went over to the stadium and just, man, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What a sight! What an awesome thing! And some of you saw on the way in. I was showing the replays. They have a 360-degree replay screen. So for those listening on KSRN, I'm going to show this highlight again. But this is it's going to the right, but I'm taking a replay off the screen, and it's 360 degrees towards the mount. So no matter where you're sitting, high, low, doesn't matter. You can see the replay. It's absolutely awesome. But Mercedes-Benz Stadium, again, total. Well, to overstate the obvious, a lot of you have been there. Most of you, but some of you have been there. A lot of you who hasn't been there, but definitely A+ experience there. At Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Again, I bumped into Gary Stoken. We had him on, the CEO of the Peach Bowl. And yeah, it was great catching up with him and talking to him. And man, hey, I told him, I said I thought we'd get a very good game out of it. He was excited about the game, and it started off again. It was a little bumpy the way it started, but for the Devils. But hey, what do I always say, guys? There's another team across the field punching you in the mouth, trying to punch you in the mouth, trying to impose their will and their game plan and what they want to get done. But yeah, it's crazy because like the way Texas started. I mean, look, and by the way, absolute forks up to the Sun Devil Nation, the fans showing out. Obviously, families of players were there. It was great seeing them there. But I mean, Sun Devil fans, like I said, on my red eye flight, it was like 3/4 full of Sun Devil fans. And my flight back last night was full of Sun Devil fans. And the pilot was an Arizona-based crew on my Delta flight, and literally he's like, for your Sun Devils, he goes, man, what a game. He goes, we're headed back. He goes, but man, he goes, that, and it was the best so far. It's been the best playoff game of the season. And yes, you can see, I know some of you that aren't Sun Devils and be like, oh, you're saying just because it was ASU, right? No, it has nothing to do with that. Look how the game started. So we're going to get to that. I'm going to take a quick break. Let everybody take a deep breath, reset, but take a quick break. When we come back, again, talk about that. Then we will hear, like I said, from Coach Dillingham, a little bit from Coach Dillingham, Sam Lovett, and Cam Scattaboo as well, who, again, was phenomenal. He was offensive MVP of the game. With 7 minutes left, he was voted the offensive MVP of the game, as, again, well earned. And the line, again, took a little bit of adjusting. What did I talk about last week, guys? Texas's line, like in the trenches, both sides of the ball, they're going to be tough to deal with. And our line, tough to deal with too. But they adjusted. And defensively, I mean, Coach Ward had to adjust, but there's, again, some awesome plays. We'll get to Shamari Simmons not playing in the first half too. We'll get to all that. But again, just phenomenal battle, phenomenal grit from this team. Coach Dillingham, again, this vision he had, the culture, what it is to be a Sun Devil, a player-led culture, but from his vision. And they took that vision, and again, they've grinded, they've raised the standard. And he said it last night, this team will be remembered forever, because not what they did on the field, but the bond they've built, how they became, how this team is a true family, and everybody playing for one another. So again, we'll step aside real quick. 39-31. Congrats to the Longhorns. They get the victory, but we'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged.
We miss you, BA. And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project?
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
That's right. You are listening to the best.
You are listening to the best internet.
You are listening to the best internet music radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Yes, I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. It's a little dark right now. I don't get why. But nonetheless, go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, and you'll be all good to go from there. Because guess what? All we are part of the Casual Sports Radio Network family, which is absolutely awesome. Casual E got us covered there. So again, very, 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 very stoked about that. So nonetheless, though, go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, and go from there. But yes, before we get to Coach Dillingham and Sam Levitt, Cam Scattaboo, who again, all just phenomenal seasons for them, and we're going to be a little dark today. That's fine. Phenomenal seasons for them as they, again, just left it all out on the field. And again, I know they become cliches because they're true adages, but however you want to look at them, right, guys? But let's get to the targeting call. It has been slowed down. I mean, look, they reviewed it, and they're still saying it's not targeting. Now, for people that are SEC hacks, and by the way, shout out to PLR. Shout out to my guy Paul, who always gave me teasing me, he kids because he cares. No, but when we would talk ASU certain things and how things were going, calling me a wee bit of a homer, which you pitchfork lunchers know throughout the years, a little bit. But I aim to not talk out of both sides of the mouth. Targeting by the rule, right, guys? By the rule, that's targeting. Now, people are focusing on, Crown, it was face mask. It's the lunging. It's the launching into a defenseless player, receiver in that case, a quarterback, if they're in a vulnerable position. That is what targeting was created for. And for Terry McCauley to sit there and list all that stuff, guys, right, and say it's targeting, it's targeting. And Paul, I got to give PLR a shout out, my guy. Got to give him a shout out because he messaged me and said if that was an SEC team, that would have been a targeting call. Now, look, there were calls that went against Texas, and people say, what about all those holding and interference? If you looked at the plays, they were blatant. interference calls, holding calls. So when you see the replay, you can't really get away from that. The fact that it's not targeting, and I posted it last night, and Papa Fight, he posted a phenomenal the slow motion replay of it. And yeah, even in slow motion, of course, slow motion ruins everything. Oh, that's not that bad. No, you realize going full speed, it's worse. And people, SEC hacks, Texas fans who, again, were definitely not, who were very, again, the few I came across chatting with, very, very, very nice. Not that I didn't think they would be, but, weren't as obnoxious as some fan bases. And yes, pitchfork lunchers, some fan bases that I'm talking about, and there's more than one, but nonetheless, he posted, CJ Fight Stat posted a great slow down of the replay. And if you're going to sit there and just all you focus on the crown, you can say, okay, it was down, but it wasn't full crown. But as the face mask came back up, it's the launching into a defenseless player. There's no way that is not targeting. Absolutely pathetic, no call. And especially more pathetic when you review it. And that's what you have the review for. Like, that's what's crazy to me. That's what you have the review for, right? That's what you have it for. And, they're slowing it down. They're looking at it as well. And guess what? It doesn't get called. And yeah, ASU ends up losing in the end. Okay, so that's one play. Now you look for others, the Cam Scatterboot touchdown, where again the way he landed was on Kyle Scott. And Scott, as he's falling back, just kind of, I guess you could say, aids, boosts, launches, maybe not launches, but I guess chucks Scatterboot across the goal line. Now, if Scatterboot again had fell on Scott and gotten up, he wouldn't have been down by contact, because we've seen that before in the past. Players, a defender, is taken down, maybe is trying to take down a player, and the offensive player ends up on top of him and literally like rolls off him and keeps running because their knee was never down. Their knee was never down, elbow, nothing touched down. So they were able to keep going. So that is a little bit different. So maybe he would have been down right there at the 1 yard line. I still think ASU scores right after that because the momentum they had built up to that point. So yes, those two in weighing, the targeting, not being called targeting, was an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Now, did Texas make a lot of plays? Am I taking anything away from Texas? Pitchfork lunchers, you know me. See, I don't talk about both sides of my mouth. No, Texas made plays. The team that led the nation in turnovers had one, and they got it at the, they're all inopportune, right? Coaches will tell you turnovers, of course, are inopportune. But when it happens in the second overtime, as the Devils are looking to obviously score, tie it up, extend it, go to the third overtime, and then start the 2-point fiesta brigade as we look at it. And that's one of those things where, that rule needs to change too. They just need to go to a time limit like the NFL. If they always copy the NFL, they need to go to a time limit like the NFL. So you want to do the same thing, 10 minutes. If the first team gets the ball, no matter what they do, even if they score a touchdown, the other team gets the ball. If there's a field goal, that's fine. If neither team scores, both teams punt, then the next score wins. Like, you can make it like the NFL. If they copy the NFL, then do that. There's the whole 2-point thing is absolute. It's like 5-year-olds playing, or maybe 12-year-olds playing in the lot, in the parking lot, in the dirt field, whatever you want to say. Like, it's again, you have to be a purist to think that, guys. But again, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think, what you might think about that. I'm not going to go too far off into the abyss of the I'm not going to go too far off into the abyss of the overtime rule, because again, it went 2. Texas in the second scored, went for 2, had the momentum, and we'll get to that. So yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it's one of those things where I can't. It's frustrating because like yeah, you make plays and how penalties or non-call penalties will sit there and affect the game, right? How does it affect the game? And so yeah, it is one play, but you always hear it's two sided. It's when they're like, oh, it came down to like that play, but how many plays? And they ran over 90 offensive plays. I mean, we look at the numbers, guys, and I'm not going to go off on crazy tangents to jump ship, but the targeting call again, absolutely targeting. Terry McCauley, rules analyst, was breaking it down, and even he's saying that it's targeting. And when I look at it, it's hard for us to say it's not because, and again, I always say this, and I kid at some things, but when it comes to penalties, if it had happened to that team down south, would I be saying the same thing? Disdain or non-fandom aside, from a straight up point, if that had been a non-targeting call against Arizona, I would have said the same thing. Would have said the absolute same thing, because even when you review it, it's a targeting call. It is a huge targeting call, and again, that pretty much ends the game. So, but they, for somehow in the review, I don't know how you say he didn't lunge/launch and the receiver is not defenseless. Believe me, I was much more angry and yelling, not in the press box. Didn't get thrown out, guys. Although I'm sure some of you probably thought I might. Very, very, very frustrating, because you look at that play. Okay, then you look at the punt return by Texas, which a phenomenal punt return. I will give them that. Completely give them that. Phenomenal punt return. But is a phenomenal punt return. But it was aided hugely by a block in the back. And when you slow down and look at that replay, I mean, look, I was going to put some of them up, but again, when they say again, another adage, no use crying over spilt milk. It's done. It's over. It's frustrating. They had a phenomenal season. I'm not taking anything away from Texas, who again is a very good team. But for those analysts, yes, I'm looking right at you. You have an invite, and any of you out there, please go start a hashtag campaign for those analysts that said ASU didn't belong. And you Pitchfork Lunchers know that watched before the game. They were more than welcome to come on, because like I said, I was pretty much absolutely tired of hearing ASU didn't belong in Texas, this and that. And yeah, they got out to a 17-3 lead. I mean, ASU tied it up. They go to overtime. They have a lead. They fought back. I mean, defensively, look, it is a very talented Texas team. They went toe-to-toe. So hey, my Pitchfork Lunchers out there, you can hashtag whoever you want, these analysts, and there's a lot on radio. And, I would, again, the invite still stands to them, come out, because they were wrong. And it's not about just saying, oh, somebody's wrong, but why would, if you haven't really watched tape and seen this team, and you're going to just say, oh, off their schedule, don't get me started on the schedules, right, guys? We all know how I feel about certain cream puff schedules. But yes, and my guy HHS sports fan, that's right. He got absolutely crushed on that. And he got absolutely crushed on that. And that, to me, like, is I mean, you can get crushed and legally, but that was targeting by the whole letter of the law. That was targeting. So I'm with you on that, Brett. And again, you don't have to be an ASU homer to know that. So yeah, that to me, is just the frustrating part, because That's the frustrating part because when you look at it, it's tough because, does that change the outcome of the game in the end? As we all, again, would have thought that it did. So, yes, I'm with you there. He did get rocked, but look, Texas made the plays on the punt return. It was a block in the back that didn't get called. Cam Scadaboo's, little assist into the end zone didn't get called either. And there's certain plays, but look, what this team did all year, and to say that they didn't belong, all of you, again, I'm sure, people, oh, well, Texas won the game. Inevitably, they won the game, and they're going to have every excuse. It's the mistakes Texas made, but ASU didn't cause them, right? I'm sure there are going to be those out there because they didn't pick it that way, or they didn't see it that way, that it ASU had nothing to do with that. And look, Brian Ward, the defense, they had to calm down. They had to adjust. Shamari Simmons. Again, Montana Warren had a pretty good first half. Pretty good first half. And, they were moving guys around, and yeah, there was a big receiving play. I mean, Texas, gets a touchdown, then get a punt return for a touchdown, and ASU started a little rocky. And I didn't think, Sam Levitt was too nervous. The moment was too big for him. It's just, you come out, obviously you script things, you see what a team's going to do. And, Scadaboo got a little fired up on the sideline, and, coach, you saw, if you obviously watched during the ESPN broadcast, you would have seen it, but it's one of those things where, he was passionate, he was fired up, and yeah, he got a little sick. He said he drank water too quick and felt a little woozy, so threw up a little bit on the sideline, but that did not affect the young man's second half performance. The team, again, they just kept adjusting, they kept battling. Again, they try to solve the jigsaw puzzle that was Texas, and they got awfully damn close. And look, again, Texas played a great game. Do I think I obviously know they went toe to toe with them. I said that last week, not just because it's a Pitchfork Lunch show, but yeah, to all those analysts that didn't, that sat there and didn't think that the Devils could. Again, I'm sure they'll say, "Oh, see, Texas won." Like, ASU was right there in that game, and a crap no targeting call. And again, I will say it's crap, but yes, there were other plays that need to be played in the game. Do they need to start better? Sure, we're going to hear from Coach Dillingham shortly about that. But in his eyes, did they need to? Well, okay. I should rephrase. When I say start better, again, just match how Texas was starting and the momentum that Texas built from that. The 3.5 weeks off, we talked about it. Guys were able to get right. You heard Sam Levitt talk about it last week. Lee Fontanu, the wonderful center, even Xavier Guillory. I heard him talk about that last week too. The balance between getting right, the momentum and time off, and even Coach Arroyo talking about that. Like, they got to get right. So from a physicality standpoint, they did look fresh. I mean, on the field, you see, looking fresh. But like I said, from a momentum consistency standpoint, with just little things about completing plays, or defensively even scooting over a little bit here and there. But man, the D line got sacks. They got to Quinn Ewers. I mean, guys, you look. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna step aside real quick. No, actually, you know what? We're not gonna step aside. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go into Coach Dillingham, and because I want to get this. Obviously, Coach Dillingham and Sam Levitt, Cam Scadaboo. I'll hear a little bit from them. We'll hear the whole thing. We'll hear some today, and I'll play a little bit more tomorrow again. But I do want to get obviously into because again, it's more the numbers. But like they say, numbers don't lie. In this case, when a lot of you saw the numbers a little bit of a difference, but nonetheless, it's one of those things where again, the coaching staff, they had a phenomenal, they coached a hell of a season, a hell of a year. But yes, let's hear from Coach Dillingham and Sam Levitt and Scattaboo for a little bit, but we'll hear some today, and then because it's pretty long, and then some tomorrow. But I want to get to see you because, again, forks up to them. They represented. They, again, talk about activating the Valley. Yeah, they did that, and how it rubbed off, obviously football, but like other sports. And Graham Rossini talked about that. We'll hear from Graham tomorrow as well too. And I have that. But yes, let's hear from Coach Dillingham post game after again a phenomenal Peach Bowl, and again, just awesome job what Coach Dillingham, the staff have done, what they've built, what the vision, being a Sun Devil, everything, the excitement. Here's Coach Dillingham.
Yeah, they were.
That's all right. We'll go ahead. Sorry. Okay, we'll go ahead. Yeah, Coach, just start with an opening statement and any questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best teams in the country. If not the best team in the country we face today. We started off not so great, and the way the guys battled back is remarkable. Like I told them, if they could rewind in the locker room, I hate to lose more than anybody. But now that it's over, when you can reflect, and where these guys have come is an incredible testament to the team. But golly, that one sucks.
All right, we'll open it for questions. Raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. Let's start right here, fourth row on the right.
Ken, you should just talk about it with obviously Cam, everything he's done this year, but with him not feeling great in the sideline, the report on ESPN, like what was kind of going on with that, and then, you know, what was your reaction, just him getting back in the game and helping spark that comeback to even be in the position to potentially win it?
Yeah, I mean, if him being competitive and passionate on the sideline is a negative, then I'm in the wrong sport. The kid's competitive, the kid's passionate, and if that's a negative, then I don't know what a positive is. Because kids that care and kids that have passion and kids that believe is the exact reason why we had a chance to win this football game. So I love Cam, and we're gonna have a relationship forever.
Fifth row on the left.
Kenny, Craig Foley, ABC 15 back here. When did you notice that things had changed, the momentum had changed, things had shifted in the game?
I don't really know when. Probably the safety, or when we drove down the field. I mean, the punt return killed us early. That got us behind 2 scores early. But then from then out, I mean, it was we never really didn't have control of the game. They were playing really good red zone defense. Looking back at it, I didn't put our guys in the best position to succeed too many times. And our guys deserve to win the football game. I didn't do a good enough job for them as their head coach, putting them in a position to win. And I'm going to reflect on it, and I'm going to look at how I can be better to put them in a better position to be successful.
Right here, third row on the right side. Third row.
Coach Scottson, Daily Blaze Radio. Can you take me through that 4th and 13 play, what you saw from your perspective that gave Texas a chance to score?
Yeah, to be honest, it's all on me. We're in a cover 0 look. Late in the play clock, Ewers did a phenomenal job checking out, recognizing the cover 0 look, checking into a max pro, and I didn't have the ability to get out of it, and that's on me. So we left our guys ISO'd in cover 0 into a max pro there. I gotta go into that game with an ability to get out of that call. And like I said, there's a lot of things that I gotta do better to help our guys to win the football game. That's one of the many things. As I reflect, I gotta be better because our guys played good enough to win. Our guys battled good enough to win, and this game's 100% on me.
Right here, front row.
Yeah, Kenny, have you ever seen a more heroic game than somebody like Cam? And is it hard not to think you have the best team today?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the best team is the team that wins the football games. Bottom line, and that's a really good football team we faced. That's one of the best teams in the country, and they've built that thing over 4 years to get to where they're at. And I have the utmost respect for Sark and that entire football team, and I know our team does as well, because that was the battle. But when you look at it, did we belong on the field? I think a lot of people were questioning that, and I don't think any person questions if we belonged on the field. Now, there are no moral victories when the season ends. There's no such thing. This should hurt. This should be painful. The locker room is dreadful right now, and it should be. If it wasn't, something would be wrong. But at the same token, now that this is over, I really am going to challenge our guys to reflect on where it all started, because it really is remarkable. And, like I said, I won't be able to sleep for a while, but I will reflect immediately, because it's an incredible season. And what these two guys did this year is absolutely, unbelievable. And everybody should have the utmost respect for what both of those guys did, not just being the players they are, but the leaders of the football team.
All right, next question here, second row on the left.
Kenny, I was wondering, after the game, you went and there were some guys walking off the field, and you went and kind of circled them back toward the middle of the field, and some guys on the bench. What were you doing there?
Yeah, you lost the game. Doesn't mean you just get to leave. Like, you shake hands. That's what you do. That's sportsmanship. So nothing more than, if we would have won, you shake the team's hand. You lose, you go out there, and it's not fun, but that's part of life.
Okay, we're open for questions of players during this same time period as well, so keep that in mind. All right, we're going to go next all the way back on the cameras.
Hey, Sam, this question's for you. Max Payne, Walter Perkins Sports Network. The emotions on your face right now are obviously evident. You're obviously holding Cam's hand. This being your first college football season, what are you going to reflect the most out of today, and what can you say just about the effort that the man sitting next to your left put out there today and just left on the field?
Yeah, I just want to, cherish, really cherish everything that comes with the season. It's so special, and this group of guys is so special, especially two sitting next to me. The amount of time that I spent with them, and just the work that we put in. It's just gonna hurt me not to be with him next year. Obviously I got another year, but I'm just gonna go into this next season and not take anything for granted. Off season workouts, the late nights in the facility, and everything like that. So.
All right, staying in the back row.
Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. This is for all three of you. Just when people think of the 2024 Arizona State Sun Devils, what do you want them to think of first?
Cam, start with you, please.
Undeniable. We fought through everything all season. We let them hang the whole year. We gave everything we had, and you seen in that game, we never stopped. I bet you nobody in this room thought we were going to even be close, and we went down 17-3 in that first quarter. So we believed in ourselves. We believed in what we had going, and undeniable is what this team's about. Because like you said, heroic too. Heroic. Everybody on this team believes in each other, and that's what kept us close.
Sam?
Crazy season. I feel like one of the best things is, just passion. I feel like, pretty special. And that stems from Coach Dillingham and the staff. We just have a different level of passion and something I've never been a part of.
Family.
Right here.
Yeah, Max Olson, ESPN. Question for Coach Dillingham. The performance from Cam, the go route, the touchdown pass he threw on fourth down, just some of the plays he made to just insane. Where does that one rank for you, just individual performances you've seen?
This is just a Tuesday for Cam. It is. This is Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, good point.
Back.
Good point. He's a special player. He's somebody. That's just Cam. It's exactly what I expected. Bottom line, when you give him the ball, crazy things happen. They saw a man earlier in the game. He runs the sideline. I got to win a go ball. I'm like, I agree. And we found a way to get him a go ball, and he makes the play. And that's just Cam.
All right, right here, front row on the left.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. For Cam and Sam, can you kind of talk about, the first half offensive yards were kind of hard to come by, and the fact that you guys didn't flinch, and you're not a team that's kind of been here before. So what was it like in the locker room trying to get some positive momentum going and just not flinching and be able to come out in the second half?
I'll start before. I had a bad plan going into it. I didn't put him in the best positions to succeed on offense. I got to do a much better job with formations, motions, to create some better leverages to get these guys going.
Yeah, and then, you know, in the locker room at halftime, you know, we do take a step back and calm down. And we understood what we had in the locker room, and we went out there and played ball, you know, our ball. We didn't play the best ball in the first half, but, you know, we came back out and we gave ourselves a chance, so that's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it was red zone stuff. You know, we moved the ball pretty effectively, actually, and, you know, we just needed to convert in the red zone, which is, you know, I take accountability for a lot of stuff that happened. That's what, you know, so just going back, you know, I just want to, you know, understand that red zone things happen so fast and you have to be so precise. So that's one thing I'm going to carry over to next year.
All right, fourth row here on the right.
Coach, Texas came into this game running the ball over everybody but Georgia, and you guys held them to under, I believe, 50 yards today. What can you say about your defensive performance on holding the rush down?
Yeah, our defensive line, our defense in general, did a phenomenal job. Our offensive line, you know, once, in my opinion, I started to give them better chances to be successful. They did an awesome job up front too and in the running game. So both sides of the line of scrimmage I was extremely proud of. I mean, you watch the game and we played really, really good football for most plays. The problem with football is some plays were worth a lot more than others. And the plays that were worth a lot, they made more of them. And but like I said, both the lines of scrimmages I couldn't have been more proud of, and the ability to get 4 of the guys back up front on offense, and everybody but 1 guy back on the defensive lines, and 2 guys in the entire front 7 on defense. You know, I'm really excited of the foundation that Cam and this team and Leaf has, you know, laid, and to see where it can take us. Now, if the Arizona Cardinals can just draft Cam so we can keep him home, that'd be awesome.
All right, second row here on the left.
Chris Carmen, Sun Source. Kenny, a couple of situations I wanted to ask about the decision to punt versus go on 4th and I think 5 at the end of regulation. Was that an easy one, given the momentum that you had? And then also the targeting review that was not called targeting that you talked to the officials about, and what you thought about that?
Yeah, the punt was, we were playing good defense, and the score of the game, we kind of had to, in my opinion. Just 4th and 5, low percentage, doesn't even give you, if that go for it would have guaranteed us a win, we would have gone for it. So plus 35, if you completed it, plus 30, you complete it, you win the football game with a field goal, 100% would have gone for it. But that go for it would not have clinched a win. So the risk reward level just wasn't there. In terms of the targeting, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what targeting is. We lost one of our best players in the first half for targeting. And I just don't know. I just don't know what it is. So I don't want to comment on something that I have to get a better grasp of what it is. Just because it's so, you know, I just don't quite understand it. I do just want to protect the players though. So whatever rules are put in place to protect the players, I'm all about it.
All right, halfway back on the right over here.
Hey Sam, this one is for you. I know it's kind of hard right now, but just kind of thinking to next year into the offseason, what are the main things you're just kind of ready to work on this offseason and come back stronger?
I don't know, I just got done with the game, so I guess I'll go dive into, you know, some film study and stuff, but I'm just gonna, you know, take the next few weeks and just relax, and then I'll get to all that.
Kenny, back over here again, 97 plays on offense. That's a lot of plays. I mean, did you ever imagine that many plays for you and Sam both just running 97 plays a game?
Yeah, that's a lot of football plays, but like I said, we extended drives, we moved the ball down the field, we outgained them. We just, in the low red zone, like I said, I got to do a better job putting our guys in position to succeed in the low red zone to finish some of those drives. And yeah.
All right, we've got time just for a few more. We're going to go over on the right, on the edge.
Sam, Cameron Cox, Full News. What does it mean to leave ASU better than how you found it? And I saw you grab Kenny in the tunnel as you were walking back to the locker room. What did it mean to play for Kenny for these past couple of years?
ASU's changed my life forever. In a good way. Simple. They've supported me through everything. Put me in a position to be successful. So I thank everybody in the ASU community and, you know, Coach Billy and his staff. And this kid next to me right here, they changed my life forever.
All right, time for a couple more over here far left, please.
Megan Finder, C2A Sports. 10 minutes ago, Coach Prime just tweeted out how proud he is of you and how you represent the Big 12. How does that make you feel? Anybody can answer.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Coach Prime. disappointed we couldn't win the football game, but I couldn't be more proud of our guys. They battled from the beginning of the year. Like I said, I gotta put our guys in better positions to win this football game. And there's many things I could have done that could have helped us do that.
Right here in the front row on the right.
Cam, there were reports that you were ill on the sideline during the game. Could you give us an idea of what you were going through and how much that impacted you at all in the game?
Yeah, I threw up. I threw up, drank too much water too fast, and I was kind of feeling sloshy, and then felt better after. So,
Puke and rally.
I felt a lot better after throwing up, and that's when it all started, I had a rough first half, I wasn't feeling too good. That second half, it was a different ballgame, so.
Okay, front row here, Charles.
Kenny, did the emotions of this this visit begin with the announcement or the release of the news of extension for you? What does that mean for you and with the players you have coming back?
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted that to be released at a time that people weren't going to talk about it. I wanted this to be about the guys, the game, and the players, so we released it basically at midnight on New Year's. So it's not in the media, because it's not about me, it's about these guys. But I'm fired up that we can continue to build this thing. And like I said, I'm a Sun Devil, and that's awesome for me, but I didn't want that to be a distraction or people to really talk about it.
Congrats, I didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly. It worked. All right, right here, second row. No, good, all right. Okay, right here, final question.
Hey Cam, so I know it's just right after the game, but is it kind of just going through the emotions in your mind, like, this was my last game, this is the last time I'll be with Kenny, I'll be with Sam, and just, the emotions behind it, just of the performance you had, and just going out there with them one final time?
Yeah, Coach Gillingham's got the longest future in coach history, I promise. And then, this kid next to me, he's gonna play on Sundays. I'm gonna play on Sundays, so us three right here, we got a long life ahead of us. This is just the beginning for us. No matter what, these guys will be in my life forever. So it's awesome that I was able to play football for and with them. I'm happy to be in the position I am, and for him to put me in a role to be successful, and then Sam executing to help me be successful. I just hats off to those guys, and I love those guys forever.
All right, I think that's a good.
Well, there you go. I brought it to y'all. See, I just went with it because, again, you saw the raw emotion there, and Coach Dillingham, a typical coach, as not wanting to talk about the extension. And yeah, it did. I'm on the flight, and I'm like, what? And it said it, and yeah, so it's a 5-year deal, could be up to 10. We'll get to that tomorrow. But yeah, the numbers that he talked about, the numbers that they were talking about, guys, it's crazy to me. Think about this. ASU had 510 total yards to Texas's 375, which again is still pretty good. Texas passed for 322, ASU passed for 296. The rush yards, talked about the two running backs both averaging over 5 yards a carry. ASU had 214 rush yards. Texas had 53. So for those that don't belong, the defensive line punched him in the mouth. And yeah, you say, okay, 322 passing. Okay, but one-dimensional pretty much turned it into a tie game. Penalties, Texas had 10 for 68, ASU 6 for 50. But again, 510 to 375, and then holding him to 53 rushing yards. Time of possession, ASU 37-54, Texas 22-06. Guys, you couldn't ask for anything more. Like, it's crazy to me. So look, that's going to do it. We'll break down more of that tomorrow. Again, look, Forks up. Phenomenal season to this football team. Big 12 champs in the college football playoff, toe-to-toe with Texas. Yeah, it feels like it should still be going on. But, hey, you know what? That's just how it goes. But I love the emotion there from Sam Levitt. Obviously, Cam Scattaboo. So, yeah, that is just absolutely awesome. So, like Volleyball says, hashtag our state, Coach Dillingham, Coach Regal, Coach Ward, Coach Mons, Coach Hines Ward, Coach Cooper, Coach Carrington, Coach Tuitele, Coach Reynolds. Man, thank you all again for energizing Sun Devil Nation and getting players to just absolutely crush this. So, like I say, As always, hashtag our state, because we still own it from that team down south. And you know it, guys. You always know it. I know you know it. But as always, Bork's up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls off.